this morning, and I saw, I don't remember who, JD, somebody in the Mongrel chat was like, Sedano, what are you going to say about Deandre Ayton now?
Yeah, what are you going to say about Deandre Ayton now?
I'm going to say, first of all, good for Deandre Ayton, good for the Lakers. But to me, it's about consistency and impact, okay? I've never denied he's going to put up numbers. I mean, if you look at his numbers, they're pretty consistent over his career. It's around like 17-9 or something like that. It's about the level of impact. Now, yesterday, they desperately needed him to play well in a revenge game against the team he's been pooping on the whole time.
Well, let's just start there real quick.
Right.
Which is DeAndre Ayton had a big game last night, but when we talked to him when he first got here to the Lakers,
he destroyed the Trailblazers.
And we said, hey, how are you going to become the player that you were in Phoenix now that you're with the Lakers? And his answer was something like, well, the answer is I'm here. In other words, when I was in Portland, all we were doing was going through the exercise of playing NBA basketball. And we weren't pursuing a championship, and I didn't want to play that style of ball. Now I'm with the Lakers, and I'm going to pursue a championship. And so DeAndre Ayton last night, 29 points in what you would call a revenge game against Portland.
And by the way, at the beginning of the season, I said this because two things can be true.
I've heard this.
I said he's going to have a monster game every 5 or 6 games, and you're going to be like, whoa. And then he's going to have some okay games in there, and then like an underwhelming one. Like, that's just been his whole career. He's a lovely fellow. Okay.
Oh, a lovely fellow.
I've gotten a chance to be around him. You've seen it. I've done actual interviews in game with him, and he's been lovely, even to deal with off the court too. I like the guy. This is not personal by any stretch of the imagination, and I think that's where you guys get it twisted, is you feel like this is like some personal thing. I'm on here to give you my opinion. Okay, I have been particularly covering this sport for over 20 years. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on it, right? And it's not just my own eyes that are I'm relaying to you. It's literally what players, coaches, executives around the league say about these particular situations and players, etc. So I have always said, even when I said to you, he's going to wow you one every 5 or 6 games, and then it's going to be okay, and there's going to be a stinker in there. I've always said, I hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope JJ's the one that changes this dynamic for him, and that JJ's the one that is able to get the consistency out of him. Number one, because A, it's good for business here. B, I love JJ. I hope JJ has as much success as humanly possible.
Oh,
okay?
JJ!
I don't hide that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got, you know this. I've gotten along with all the coaches. I've had a good relationship with Frank. I had a great relationship with Frank, actually, if you really want to be honest. Okay, I had a very good relationship with Darvin. And, JJ and I were colleagues. Like, we were legit. We've had dinners together, all that stuff over years before he became the head coach of the Lakers. So I absolutely root for his success. It doesn't mean I can't do my job and say if he does something I don't agree with, that I will not be critical of him. He understands that's the exchange. But I want him to succeed. So if I want him to succeed, I want his team to succeed, which means I want his players to succeed. And I want DeAndre Ayton to finally turn a corner. But it is rare in any sport, Cappy, you know this, that a player in year 8 or 9 or whatever it is, I believe 7 or 8 for him now, because he was drafted 2018, I believe. So yeah, this is year 8. It's very rare in year 8 that a player turns a corner.
Okay, fair, but think about it from his perspective. You're the number 1 overall pick. You were playing high-level national championship caliber basketball in college, right? So you go to the Suns and you have instant success. And I remember when the Suns, I want to say, made it to the finals, and there was all this talk about how the older players were really taking DeAndre Ayton under their wing, and they were turning him into something, et cetera, et cetera. Chris Paul in particular comes to mind. And then all of a sudden, things start to turn. You're not quite the player everybody thought you were. Maybe there's some attitude-related issues. And then you go to Portland. And, George, if you're just playing...
Okay, but let's put a pause there.
All right, hold on. Timeout. What, timeout 20?
Yeah.
We got a 20 here?
Because let's not make it seem like everything in Phoenix was like hunky-dory.
Oh, no, not at all.
By any stretch of the imagination.
But I don't remember, all the details.
Oh, I was there for a lot of those games.
Remind me. Tell me what happened.
His teammates were annoyed by him for lack of effort.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
and lack of detail-oriented stuff that is needed at this level, okay?
But he was also, how old do you think, 19, 20?
No, this is later.
Okay.
This is already later. Okay. This is not 19, 20. Mm-hmm. This is not his rookie year, okay? I will give you this. You're the number one pick in the draft that Luka went in. That's a tough deal already to begin with. So I am empathetic towards that, okay? And again, he's a nice kid, man. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, okay? I'm just telling you, I'm relaying the information that I've seen with my own eyes and conversations I've had with real people who have played with him, okay?
Ball knowers.
Thank you, Trudeau. And he had what I would say is one of the most patient human beings in the coaching profession as his head coach in Phoenix, in Monty Williams. This is a guy who was a former player as well, okay, in the NBA for a long time, had a solid role player career, right? Mm-hmm. Like played the lead for a decade, all right? Came up through Greg Popovich as an assistant coach. Like, yes, things went south for him in Detroit. I get it. He's also dealt with a lot of tragedy in his life, which I don't think helps. I think that some of that stuff, like, has to wear on you at some point. I don't want to get into that because it's not relevant to the conversation now. But anyway, in Phoenix, he was a good coach. He is an incredible human being, okay? And incredibly patient, to my point. And even this is a man I never saw get frustrated. Even he was frustrated with Deandre Ayton.
What year did the Suns make it to the finals?
2021.
Where everybody was really hyping
2021.
Deandre Ayton. Okay, so then how long after that finals season, when, again, everybody was loving him, how long after did things go south for him? Do you recall?
Shortly thereafter.
Okay. So, but here's what I'm trying to get to.
The next 2 years were not good for him there.
But let me just try and make this point, because you said that guys don't usually turn a corner this late into their career. So things start out good, then they go south in Phoenix, and then he gets, I'll call it relegated, if you will, right? They didn't trade him to a team that was competing for a championship, and he was a missing piece. They traded him to a team that wasn't good, wasn't going to be good, wasn't competitive.
Right, but Portland traded for him.
I understand.
Because they wanted a guy they felt like, hey, this guy has potential to be a great player. We want to make him one of the cornerstones of our pillars of our franchise.
Okay, and what happens to the kid? He gets to Portland. He realizes they're no good. He realizes that they're all kind of counting on him, and he's not a carry the team by himself kind of guy. I knew that Deandre Ayton was not committed to playing for the Portland Trailblazers when we ridiculed him, and I say the media ridiculed him for not making it to a game because it was too icy outside.
Right.
I mean, if you play for the Buffalo Bills and there's 10 feet of snow, you find a way to get to the stadium and get to the game. If you are a player in Portland and you realize that weather is going to be different than it was in Phoenix or where you grew up, you find a way to get you to the game, and your excuse is, there's an ice storm, I can't make it to the game. At that moment in time, he knows it, they know it, and we all know it. He's not committed to playing for them.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay,
I'm with you on that.
I'm just trying to give Deandre Ayton the benefit of the doubt.
Listen, I hope everything you say, and I hope every person in the Mongrel chat is right too. I like the guy. This is not a personal thing. What I'm telling you is that if it doesn't work here, and he knows this, I've had this conversation with him, okay? He knows this, okay? If it doesn't work in this situation, he is forever now he went from a guy who was making 30-something, almost $40 million to the Lakers giving him an $8 million deal.
Right.
That is not the trajectory you want as a former number one overall pick. This is it in a lot of ways, right, for where his career will go. It is an inflection point.
Yeah, otherwise, he'll just be a hanger-on to a roster, and he'll be a guy that barely ever plays.
No, not that. It won't go that steep that quick, but he will never be a pillar of an organization again if it doesn't work here in this instance.
I got it. But what I'm saying to you is this, is that Deandre Ayton last night, in 31 minutes, scored 29 points. And is it because he was playing against Portland and he wanted to stick it to him?
Sure, part of it.
Maybe.
Part of it, maybe.
But here's the other thing. You got no Luka last night.
He had to.
You got no Austin Reaves last night. You've got no LeBron at all this season. And the Lakers find themselves at 6-2. Now, if the Lakers were 2-6, and LeBron hasn't played yet, and Luka's missed a bunch of games already, 2 or 3, and the Lakers were 2-6, we'd all be sitting here going, yeah, I'm not really surprised. I mean, there's no Luka, he's hurt, and there's no LeBron.
Right.
And who are we really relying on? What's been impressive to me so far, and I grant you it's only through 8 games.
Yeah.
Let me give you a list.
Yeah.
Jake LaRavia is at the top.
Listen, we should make Christopher. We should probably do a likes thing today for Christopher. It was ripping. He wasn't even calling the guy by his right name.
I wasn't.
You were calling him like LaGreca or something like that.
Oh yeah, Don LaGreca.
Yeah,
Jake LaGreca. Oh yeah,
Jake LaRavia.
He was here on Friday.
I will tell you
Don
something.
LaGreca or Jake LaGreca?
Don LaGreca.
Don LaGreca.
Jake LaRavia was not in here.
They do a whole bit in New York about Don blowing up, kind of like Lindsay, about how many days since his last rant.
How many days has it been for Chris?
I think we're at 6, right?
Hey, nice job.
Hey.
Very nice job. Nice work.
I've been busy. So
Jake LaRavia, can I ask everybody, and be honest, okay? Who here takes Sedano out? Who here knew who Jake LaRavia was or saw him play prior to him putting on a Laker uniform? Because I'm admitting right now, didn't know who he was, never saw him play. Anybody else?
Nope.
I saw him play, but right.
That's why I took you out of the equation.
I got it.
Jake LaRavia, it's 8 games.
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
So I'll tell you why, and I asked him this when he came on with us, okay? 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. Well, now, technically 3 seasons ago, but 2 years ago, the Memphis Grizzlies lost everybody, right? Remember, Ja was suspended, Jaren Jackson got hurt, everybody got hurt, right? And LaRavia played that season and played well. And I remember doing one of their games early in the year, and I asked Taylor Jenkins at the time, who was the coach. I said, who's the guy that's really kind of sticking out to you? And he's like, LaRavia, man. That guy's got a lot of talent. There's a lot to be mined there, is basically the way he described it to me. And that stuck with me. So when the Lakers signed him, I'm like, there's talent there for sure.
What I love about what's happening with LaRavia is I see the way that Austin Reaves enjoys playing with him.
Yeah.
What I've been blown away by with LaRavia is the 3-point shooting is pretty good.
Yeah.
Dunking the ball on alley-oops.
He's more athletic than you think.
Absolutely.
Is that a white guy thing?
Yeah, it is a total white guy thing.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Speaking of white guys, honestly, for years, the Lakers had Alex Caruso as their one token white dude, right? And then they got done with him, and then they had Austin Reaves, and he was the token white dude. And sometimes you watch the Lakers.
Another big talking point from dinner last night.
Sometimes you watch the Lakers and you go, who are these white brothers out there? Who are these dudes?
Point.
Yeah. So... Well, that was because I was doing all the talking because Chris was
eating
just
all
making
the
himself disgusting.
Yeah,
he was just sitting there in his own sickness.
Yeah.
Jake LaRavia has been amazing so far.
Yeah. He's been great. Yeah.
I'm blown away. I'll tell you something. Last night, there's this kid, Nick Smith, 27 minutes, 25 points. And again, I'll make an admission. Anybody here know who Nick Smith was other than Sedano?
Yeah.
Anybody?
I did not.
He was a
before
former lottery pick.
Okay, right, yes. So I had to look him up. I'm like, whoa, this guy from Arkansas is his first-round guy.
By the way, I tried to get liners from him at Media Day because we get all the players. Bergie was like, yeah, you don't need him. And now I could have used a Nick Smith liner. No, I'm just kidding.
You did, no. I thought you did get it.
No, I didn't get Nick Smith.
So
we
Nick
did
Smith
social with
Jr.,
him.
former lottery pick, went to Charlotte, where careers go to die.
I wish you wouldn't say that. But that's a different story for a different day. Okay. But I have a personal connection now to the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I wish you wouldn't say something like that.
Remember, he's like a part owner.
Maybe your friends who are own 5% or whatever can turn that thing around.
Maybe.
No, owning it is a good investment. Playing for it is not.
It's pretty funny because now I've got this group chat with all these guys that put money into the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
And now we're all trying to become Hornets fans.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy so far. Just to let you know.
Invest,
well,
right, Cap?
I would say to you this. I would say to you this. I would trade LaMelo.
Oh, thank you. I'll
tell
pass
him
that
to trade
around.
LaMelo.
I will pass it. In fact, I should put you onto this group text.
You should.
You could just let everybody know.
Well, no, I would need to be paid as a consultant, and then I would have to tell the talent office at ESPN that I'm a consultant to the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But again, just going back to the Lakers, 6-2. Okay. LaRavia.
Yeah.
Didn't know. Am very surprised.
Yeah. And by the way, I would trade LaMelo because they just need to start over.
Right.
Yeah.
Nick Smith Jr. last night.
Yeah.
Blown away by his performance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also, obviously we've all seen Austin Reaves' development over the years, so we're not necessarily surprised. We don't get surprised when Luka comes back and drops 40 on somebody.
Yeah.
But, you said after the very first game of the season, looks like they need the old man. Right now, can we all agree, at least through 8 games at 6-2, The Lakers are good. They may not be championship good, and they may be better when LeBron comes back.
Right, but they do need the old man if they want to win, if they want to be in real contention.
Well, I will just say this, that you said they need the old man. You know who they got? They got the young man. Even Bronny's giving you a little bit of quality time.
Bronny had a nice run here.
That
my guy Bronny, my cardiac brother.
Yeah.
That alley-oop dunk that he had the other day from
Big
Austin Reaves.
Yesterday.
Yes, I mean, impressive. Way to go, Bronny.
Yeah.
Get your respect, bro.
Big 3 yesterday for Bronny. But, yeah, look, what I would say to you is this, is I think JJ's done a fantastic job of managing this group.
Oh, just time out on that.
Yeah.
JJ's going to blow up his heart himself.
Yeah.
JJ loses his freaking mind in games, and you can hear him cursing everybody out on court. Watching JJ Redick is almost more entertaining than watching the players because JJ Redick is a psychopath, and I'm here for it. I mean, right, dude? The guy is losing his mind. He's screaming at everybody. His face is red. He's cursing everybody out. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Because you don't see coaches that much do that anymore.
I told you in Minnesota, right? Like, I was on the air the next day. I told you that I literally saw him walk Tyler Ford to the locker room area and, like, give him an earful the whole time, the referee. He's done a fantastic job. And what I would say to you is this, that the coaching staff with the Lakers, going back to Ayton very briefly, there are reputations around the league. Okay. And sometimes for better or worse, right? Sometimes guys who, let's just use this as an example. Sometimes there are guys who, let's say early in their career, they are lockdown defenders, dude. Like they are all defense, and all NBA defense, first or second team. They are lockdown defenders for the first 5-6 years of their career. And then, like most guys, as they get to 30 and get to the other side, they're still good defenders. But they're getting by on they're getting these votes on reputation when push comes to shove, right? Like when it comes to the All-NBA teams and all that kind of stuff. And what I would say to you is the opposite is also true. When teammates, coaches, etc., believe that you have a lack of, in Ayton's case, right? The reputation was he has a lack of desire, right? That follows you. And he has been, let's just say this, okay? This is what I will tell you. He has been made aware. If he wasn't already, he was made aware. This is your reputation.
Mm-hmm. Now, by the way, he should have known that. I mean, really.
Okay. Whether he did or didn't is immaterial. But he was told very succinctly, very bluntly, this is your reputation. We, coaches, player, need to do everything we can to change that reputation this season.
And that's what Deandre Ayton talked to us about the very first day he signed and the day he came on with us, when the question was very simply, how will you get back to being the player that you once were in Phoenix? And his answer was, well, I'm here, meaning I'm now back to playing meaningful basketball, and I'm going to give you everything I got versus the reputation that I earned by not giving you everything I got in Portland. And maybe even that preceded him in Phoenix. So I am here to see Deandre Ayton prove all the doubters wrong. For everything you said about liking the kid, but knowing his reputation and hearing from executives and players around the league, I am here to see Deandre Ayton flippy-floppy that thing. You guys feel me?
On God.
On God for real.
On God for real.
OGFR.
So what I would say is just
Really?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hopefully it continues. Now, here's the thing.
What?
And I reported this in the last game, and I'm pretty sure I said it here, that the one thing, when I asked JJ about Ayton in Minnesota, about it was cold. Not that cold, though. It was nice. I was in just a jacket. About hey, what's really impressed you about Ayton? And he said his patience. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? And he's like, most nights to this point in the season, again, small sample size, he's only really getting the ball and a chance to shoot one every 5 or 6 possessions, and he's still engaged. So, again, a testament to that conversation the coaching staff had with him. This is your reputation. We need to do the best thing we can to change that reputation. We, as in you and us. So far, so good.